I'm Pratap.
Alright, so this week, what we pretty much did was we finished up our synthesis process.
Oh,
And
can you say your how can we?
Our general how can we was how can we reduce bedbug infestations in affordable housing units.
Okay, and what initiative are we answering your questions under?
Brainstorming.
Brainstorm. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty much what we did this week was finish up our synthesis process and begin our brainstorming process. So the first thing we did was to finish our synthesis was come up with these empathy maps. So after doing all this user research and stuff, we kind of like narrowed down all of our users into these 3 separate personas. So we have like that we thought were the most applicable to the project. So we came up with one persona who is a gossiper, educated resident. She's like very hyper social. Her name is Joyce. Sorry, Gladys. The next persona we came up with was a non-English speaker resident, uneducated, and the third persona we came up with was like a mentally ill hoarder type resident. So pretty much we did empathy maps where we did think, feel, say, do for each of these residents in regards to how they would deal with the bedbug infestation. So Gladys would be like, she would like put the blame on other residents. She'd feel like, oh, she knows everything about bedbugs. It's all their fault. Why are they other residents bringing them in? She'd be prone to scapegoat and complain about other residents and the management. Whereas Natasha, the immigrant, who may or may not know about the bedbugs, could feel like that nobody else understands her, or she could feel like if she's the one bringing the bedbugs in, she could feel like they're making her dirty. She could be prone to feeling a lot of the stigma around bedbugs. And finally, Norman, who's the hoarder, would also feel sort of the same sort of stigma. He doesn't want to. So for people who don't know who hoarders are, they're just people who like are really like they like have like a million things around, and they can't let any of these things go. So what makes that like sort of a burden for in bedbug infestations is that they won't allow like inspectors to come like inspect their room for bedbugs because they feel like, oh, if they find bedbugs in their room, they'll take away some of their stuff. So in their minds, like protecting their stuff is the most important thing over like, you know, like reducing a bedbug infestation. So yeah, that's like our third persona we came up with to address. And then after that, we dove into brainstorming.
So after that, we, like Deep said, we started with our brainstorming, and first we were still sort of working with this very large, broad, how can we? Obviously there were some discoveries that we found that really keyed us into who we wanted to design for, but we really wanted to get as many how can we statements out there to give us a better idea of like how to direct our brainstorming. And so we kind of drew from all of the synthesis and research that we've done over the past 2 weeks, like all of our background research about bedbugs, our personas, our empathy maps, our journey maps for bedbugs and for residents, and we used it all to develop these how can we's that we ended up grouping into 6 different categories, and they were treatment, prevention, detection, and then empowering residents, increasing education and awareness, and facilitating communication among and between residents and staff members. So after that, we moved into the actual brainstorming. We ended up going about it such that we took each of these categories and put the sticky notes up on the board for each category and brainstormed for the specific category. And it ended up actually working pretty well for us. We were able to get these solutions, and we were able to draw threads a lot, like connect the dots a lot better because we were ending up having solutions that fit into multiple categories. And so now we're going to start explaining some of the things that we've looked into that we feel really good about. And I guess now I can pose a question to you guys. Would you prefer us, when we're explaining our solutions, to ask for feedback? Would you prefer us to go through each solution and then you guys can give us feedback on that and then we can move to the next one? Or we could go through all of them at once and y'all can put your feedback on Loft or save it until the end? which would you prefer?
Yeah, like feedback as we go.
How many did you say you have?
We have 6, but some of them won't take very long. Like they're not gonna.
I think maybe go through all of them, but then we might ask for like more specific questions
Okay.
on them.
Great.
Is that okay with everyone?
Everyone's cool with that?
So each one kind of quick and then.
Yeah, so we'll just run through them really quick then. So the first concept we have is something that would keep the bed bugs from actually biting people. And it's this sort of like modified cat scratcher of sorts. So you have this post that they're drawn to, and we learned through our research that bed bugs are drawn to CO2 and heat, like the release of CO2 from your breath and the heat in your body. And so we would replicate that in this sort of post, and they would crawl onto it, and either like it would have some sort of pesticide on it, or it would trap them. We've been looking into ways to actually limit their mobility and trap them in place. And so it would prevent people from being bitten while also drawing the bed bugs into one place and immobilizing or killing them.
Kyle, you want to talk about the?
Oh yeah, sure. So talking about robots, it's already been suggested actually to create robots that will kill pests, and there are actually some working examples out there, but not for bed bugs. If you type in, you'll find like Virginia Military Institute or something. There's a robot that can kill mites, and of course we know that basically there are robots that kill like common houseflies and stuff, and they can be designed to look really pretty, like in the shape of a lamp, that kind of thing. So yeah, we saw some white space there. There's not anything for bed bugs yet, probably because they are the hardest to detect, and that would be kind of a tougher design, and possibly also more expensive design, but it would be really fun and possibly quite effective. So that's our first thing, basically a Roomba, except it kills bed bugs instead of like dirt. And then we were also thinking about a map to help residents and facilities better visualize actually where the infestation is. So it could possibly be a physical map, but it would probably be virtual, somewhere online, where basically areas of infestation, like either in a facility or even on the scale of like Chicago or something, would show up when an area was infested, as well as, for example, in a facility showing like a general kind of like density of, for this floor, this is where most of the infestations have happened. So that's the map.
So I think that like as a team we're really excited about trying to empower the residents to kind of take on the challenge of dealing with the bed bugs on their own. So one way in which we've kind of thought about doing that was creating like a workshop sort of space where residents that have like become like bedbug experts or whatever teach the incoming residents, like the people moving into the building, about bed bugs and how to deal with them and things of that sort. So they're getting educated and they're also like feeling empowered, like like it's a sense of community as well. And part of this like sort of like idea, we kind of thought of a way of like kind of rewarding people for like being educated about bed bugs and being aware of how to control them. So we thought of like I don't know if you guys know about the like the Livestrong bracelets, you probably do, but they were like a really big fad and we thought it might be interesting to have like a bracelet, so it's like kind of subtle, it's not like super out there, but a bracelet that kind of indicates that you're like certified from this like workshop at your facility, so you've like done the workshop and you know about bed bugs, and if people are like walking around in the hall and they like have a question about bed bugs, they can go up to you, like they see you with a bracelet, so they can go up to you and ask you. It makes it kind of like more approachable, I guess, like to deal with the problem. So that's one other idea we had, and then so through our research we read a couple of articles that kind of said that okay, so beds, unmade beds are more inclined to like, are less, sorry, okay, so like, so made beds are warmer, like, and bed bugs love warmth, they love heat, so it's like, by keeping your bed made, it's sort of more conducive to like allowing bed bugs to survive. So this led us to like further thinking about, well, there's already mattress encasements made of plastic. We were wondering it might be kind of interesting to create an encasement or something over the mattress that has like a cooling effect that makes it less conducive to like allowing bed bugs to survive, since it wouldn't be warm. So yeah, that's another idea.
And just one last solution, a quick one, was just like a bug rug that you could put under your bed, and bed bugs, it would just like stop all the bed bugs from even climbing up the bed. It would just trap all the bugs on this little rug you would put under your bed. So yeah, those are all the solutions the best ones we thought
Yeah.
that we came up with.
Not all.
Yeah.
No, we had a lot.
All right.
This graveyard over here.
Do you guys have any questions about any of the ones that we mentioned? Or, yeah.
I really have